So some of what my understanding is, and I understand what you're saying, that it's in a court order, but some of what I'm understanding is that some of these psychologists are actually kind of superseding the judge in some of these and actually making recommendations or orders that they shouldn't be. Is that something that your board would potentially, if someone were to make a claim on that you would consider a serious enough offense to turn into a complaint? I guess my question is, what are you looking for as a board for taking those claims and then pushing them to the next level of a complaint?
Certainly, if there's a, as I understand it, Representative Kessel, you're saying that the psychologist is placing themselves in a situation of superseding the judge and doing what they want to in spite of any specific order. Is that correct?
Potentially, yes.
To that point, sir, I think what Representative Kessel is talking about is the claim of quasi-judicial authority, where essentially the mental health care professional is given extremely broad latitude, I mean, beyond what the judge may be aware of. I believe that's what you were referring to, yeah.
Well, certainly it's, as a forensic psychologist, I no longer do any kind of family law or child custody. I only do criminal cases. But if they're superseding, going beyond their scope of order, then that should be foundations for a complaint. As to whether that would proceed to the next level, I don't know without specific documents to look at.
Okay. Can I do it
to that point, I'm not going to ask you to go down any hypothetical rabbit holes.
Thank you. And I certainly appreciate that.
I do have
they scare me this early in the morning.
They should. They get very dark down there.
They do.
I do have somewhat of a to that point. So your board makeup, because you just insinuated that you were potentially affiliated with the family court type situation. When the board members are chosen for the board, do they take into account, because it was said that they cover, it may be different types of court cases, not just family court. Is there like a specific thing that formula that you have that you're going to have two from the family court, one from do you know what I mean with who you pick for the board? Are they all from the same kind of background? Do you get a difference in background?
Let me see if I can respond to that, Representative Kessel. There are only 5 psychologist members on the board. And so on the complaint screening committee, I am one of those. So I look at whatever the complaint is. We have statutory guidelines to follow, what the statutes are. We see if the psychologist has violated any of those. We also have the American Psychological Association Code of Ethics that we look at. Is much a longer list, and see if the psychologist has violated one of those. So that's what I'm looking at. I don't know that I differentiate whether it came from a commissioner or a superior court judge or a criminal case or family law. It's more in terms of what the complaint is, how it's worded, comparison to the Code of Ethics and the laws of the state of Arizona.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you brought up the Code of Ethics and the canons of conduct. So according to the American Psychological Association, the ethical principles of psychologists in the Code of Conduct, they do indeed refer to do no harm to the child.
Correct.
What we heard in the last committee meeting, and I wouldn't expect you to know this, and the fact that you're not in the family court program now, I get it. But if there is a complaint that comes from a parent that specifically references harm to the child, because this is sounding very much so far like it's about 2 adults, and the minor seems to be getting lost in the whole conversation.
Agreed.